Howdy, Simmers. Over the last little while, I've been doing kind of a building mini-series where I do builds that are dedicated to the different animals that we have in The Sims 4. I've built a dog park, a cat cafe, a chicken restaurant, things like that. And today I'm doing a build for horses. Unfortunately, I do think that this will be the last build that I do in this series. I know there are still more animals that I could do builds for, but truthfully, I have no idea what to build for them. We have the cows, llamas, mini goats, and mini sheep. Technically birds and foxes, but I don't know what to do for those. So I think this is kind of the end of the road for this mini-series. So if you're enjoying all of the animal-related builds, I'm sorry that they're probably going to come to an end after this video. But I did have a lot of fun with this one. I'm not particularly a fan of the horses in The Sims 4, or horses in general. I just didn't really grow up around them, so I'm not like a big horse person. But I did have fun kind of making this little place for them, and I've actually had this idea for a long time. I think this was potentially the build that inspired me to start the series. Like, this was the first thing I wanted to build, and then I just didn't end up doing it. But I have called this build the Stables, and I built this with the idea of this being kind of like a rest stop for your horses, essentially, kind of like a drop-off point. But there is some training stuff in the back, so I know there's like training stuff throughout the world of Chestnut Ridge, but the idea for this kind of is if you don't have the room on your lot for all this training stuff, you could bring your horse here and have them do, all this training stuff here. But this is just a fun little space for horses, and I think I got everything out here. We have the barrels, the jumping things. I even get a couple of, like, I don't know what they're called, like the blow-up balls or whatever for the horses to play with. If you're watching my Cardigan Legacy, you know that my horse literally hates that ball, so hopefully your horse doesn't, because, ugh. The horse in the Cardigan Legacy series just really stresses me out, and we're not going to be keeping him for much longer. But in total, there are like 5 stables to this. So 5 separate kind of rooms for your horses to just hang out at. So they've got the bed, the water trough, and the feeding station, which I didn't actually put any food into any of them. I meant to do that before I uploaded it to the gallery, and I just completely forgot. So hopefully it'll let you fill those feeders. I didn't actually check, unfortunately. So I do typically playtest my builds. This is one of the ones that I didn't really bother with, so sorry if anything doesn't work. It should, but yeah. In this kind of main area part, I didn't really know what to do, so I just made it a little, like, relaxing sit-down kind of thing for any of the normal Sims. While their horse is being taken care of, maybe getting in some rest or eating or something, they can sit down on the benches and just kind of chill for a little bit after maybe a long day of riding throughout the neighborhood or something. I have no clue. So I had no clue really what to put in here, though, so I use a lot of horse ranch in this build because obviously we're building a place for horses, and I wanted things that kind of fit the horse theme. So we have like the saddles, and I don't even know what else actually. Like stable cleaning tools, I guess. But yeah, I think I definitely had an easier time probably not only with the actual like horse stable portion, but kind of more the outside until we get to landscaping, which we're starting to rain paint now. And I'm not gonna lie, it looks really weird. So I don't do terrain paint very well in general. Landscaping in general for me is kind of hard, but I don't know how to do terrain paint on this kind of ground, I guess. I build houses for the most part in like kind of suburban grassy areas, so I'm used to kind of that terrain stuff, not full on sand and dirt. So I did the best I could, but if it looks weird, just know I'm not used to building or landscaping on this kind of terrain. So I think it's fine-ish. But yeah, I did dig into horse ranch a lot for landscaping as well, just to kind of fit in with all the environment stuff. But we are getting to the end of the build already, so I'm gonna hop into the game, and I will show you the stables. Alright, so here is the build, and I went with the open outdoors from Horse Ranch because I figured this would be a very open, kind of nature-y thing. Like, I don't think they would have these closed off at all. But we've got this little, not really entrance sign here, but just our front and center kind of thing of letting you know this is the stables. Over here, I did include the board where you can actually like adopt horses and you can find out about the competitions. I thought it would be nice to have that here. And it wasn't actually included in the speed build, but I did add it kind of at the end. So it's there. But very slowly, we will start on the inside. So there's 2 entrances into this, so your sim can go through whichever way you want. Over here, we just have some like decorative barrels, and then we have the saddles on either side of the bench. I did forget to paint the ceiling. My bad. That's a little meh in this area. But yeah, I just put some horse-related stuff kind of around in this area, so I apologize if it looks kind of strange. But into our actual stables, they all look the same. For the most part, we have the water trough, the feeding station, and then a horse bed with just a bunch of hay around it. And I kind of scattered the hay around in different ways to make it look somewhat different. But it's all basically the same. That stark white on the ceiling is so strange. I apologize for forgetting to paint the ceiling this time. Usually I don't apologize for that, but today I will because it's so just does not fit in with this build. And then on both sides, we have gates that lead into this back training area. On this side, we have a dumpster if you want to take care of the horse manure. And we have 3 sets of the barrels around here. We also have the 2 balls to help your horses get their fun need up. And then we also have the 3 jumping things as well. And then just kind of around, I have a few patches of like wild grass for your horses to eat. So you can see there's some over on the other side as well. But that is the full build of the stables. So I hope you like this build, and yeah. The build is available on the gallery for you. Like I said, it's just called the stables, and I actually didn't end up using too many packs. So it looks like I used some base game probably, but I used a lot of Horse Ranch obviously, and then apparently some Snowy Escape and Eco Lifestyle as well, which I think might actually just be that dumpster. I have no clue what I used from Snowy Escape, but if you have those 3 packs, then, you know, you'll be able to download this without anything disappearing. So this actually pretty good. I did just check. Apparently the roof texture that I used is from Snowy Escape, but other than that and the dumpster, everything else is either base game or Horse Ranch. So I guess it's not too big of a deal if you don't have those packs. You're not really going to be missing anything. But yeah. I do hope you enjoy the build though, and that you can find a way to use it in your saves. It's just marked as a generic lot, so I don't know if Sims will actually like bring their horses or anything. I don't know if generic lots really do anything, but I didn't know what to really turn it into, so it's just a generic lot for you guys. But like I said, this is probably the last video that has to do with like a dedicated animal build, so sorry if you were enjoying that mini-series. I have yet to actually make a playlist out of all of them, so maybe I should do that if you want to go back and watch any of the other animal builds that I've done. But yeah, with that, I'm gonna go. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel and make sure you have notifications on so you don't miss anything. Be sure to follow my socials. Links are below. I'll see y'all soon. Bye.